What's up guys, it's your boy Jordan back with another video, and this is a video I've been wanting to make for a little bit of time. Nobody really asks about it, but it's one of those things that you're not going to see anybody really talk about, and it's one of the most important aspects of entrepreneurship and building a business in general. In this video I want to talk to you guys about failure. I want to share with you every single business failure that I've encountered so far, the key lesson that each one taught me, and why I believe that if it wasn't for these failures, I wouldn't be in the position that I am in today. Now, I know you guys like the Shopify and the Facebook ads videos, but at the core of all that, we're all entrepreneurs, and if you guys can understand some of the key principles that go into entrepreneurship, you're going to see the value and the knowledge trickle over into your Shopify dropshipping business. Trust me, it all goes hand in hand. So I really want you guys to stick around to the end because I believe that this is going to be one of the best videos that I have put out on my channel to date. But anyways, that's all I have for that. If you guys are liking the value of this content and the quality of it all, just click down below and hit subscribe, hit the like button, do all that stuff. I also have a free Facebook group you can join and you can network with other entrepreneurs in there. It's a pretty good community. But anyways guys, enough of that. We're actually going to go into the computer and we're going to talk about all this stuff in depth. All right, so I actually put failure highlighted in green because I truly believe, and many other people will agree with me on this, that failure is at the cornerstone of entrepreneurship. If you never fail, you will never progress. So it is essential to fail and fail quickly so you can use those failures as lessons that will make your future endeavors more successful and make you more confident with approaching them. This is just the reality of it all. If you haven't failed at all in your life, or you haven't experienced failure in business, I can tell you you're not on the right track to be successful. There is maybe like 1 in a million people who start their first business and it ends up just taking off and being extremely successful. The reality of this is that this doesn't happen. Even you'll see the headlines, the overnight success, or this guy made this work in 6 months, whatever, but you didn't see the last 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years of what he was trying to do alongside that and failing. So I wanted to give this video to you guys to serve that purpose, be transparent and be real with you guys, but also to give you all some confidence, because I know a lot of people out there, Shopify dropshipping is the first business that they ever started, or even just internet marketing is the first thing that they ever pursued in their life. And I know a lot of you guys right now are failing or not getting the results that you want, and it can be easy to be really discouraged by that and not want to continue pursuing your goals and aspirations. But guess what? Would you rather live a life of regret, or would you rather live a life of constant failure and knowledge growth? Anyways, that's how I feel about everything in this regard, but I want to give you guys some actionable examples of what I've been through and what I've failed at in the past. So when I was 14 years old, I started a clothing line. So it was called Retrospect Clothing. Basically, I started this clothing line because I was always interested in making money, like I said in the past, and even before I was 14, I was trying to make money. Like, what I used to do was I would go and I would make Call of Duty videos. So I would edit clips for people online and I would make it look all nice and cool. I'll show it in maybe one of the clips in the video. But I had used to edit those videos and it was pretty fun. I made like $5 every like couple of days, and I was making like $20 a week when I was like 12. So to me, that was a lot of money. I felt cool doing that. So I wanted to make something more legitimate with all the money I had saved up. I had saved up like $300, $400 or something like that. So I invested all that money into this clothing brand. I basically designed everything myself because I had been doing that for a little while. And I started making clothes. I Googled screen printer in my city and I made like 20 shirts. And I just went to school like this whole upcoming weeks and I started doing promotion. I started putting stickers all around school. I got in trouble for that, but you gotta do what you gotta do. I tried to build up the social media, have my friends take pictures with the shirts. And guess what? This business completely failed. I didn't lose all my money. I was able to sell my shirts to a couple of my friends, and that was that. But this business did teach me something, and that's kind of what I want to make this video about. I want to talk about the lessons that I learned from these, opportunities that I pursued. So we'll put this in bold. the key lesson that I learned from Retrospect's clothing is that this stuff is possible. Like the other lessons that I'm going to share with you guys are much more actionable and actually things that you're going to be able to use in your business. But keep in mind, this was the first business that I started. So for me to even be able to generate money, I was doing e-commerce. I was selling products online just to my friends and people in my circle. But for me to be able to look at my phone and be like, I made $30 today. Like that was all I ever needed to know that I'm going to be an entrepreneur for the rest of my life. And I knew that I was never going to get a job after I had experienced that small, wave of, I don't want to necessarily say success, but it was a good period of time for me. Even though I wasn't making money, money wasn't important to me at that time. I didn't really feel like I had pressure to make money. So it was good. And the key lesson was that I knew it was possible from that point forward. So when I was 15, I didn't really make any money from Retrospect. I ended up leaving with the same money that I started out with, which is also a lesson to me too. Like I thought I was going to hit it big. I thought I had the cool designs, but it made me realize that you're going to fail. But when I was 15, I started doing sneaker reselling. I was going to put the brand name that I used to use, but you guys wouldn't know. But I used to go under like the King of Kicks. That was my name. And all around my city, I used to use the money that I had saved up and buy shoes and then flip them at a higher rate. And if you guys don't know, basically you can do this with Jordans, Nikes, Yeezys. This is a good way to make money still. Just flipping things in general. And I mean, it was sneaker reselling that did the majority of it, but I was just hustling. If I had something I saw on Craigslist, like an iPad that was $100, I would buy it and flip it for $160. Like I was just taking all the money I had and investing it into whatever I could find and flipping. But the thing that I realized doing this is slow money. Doing this is never gonna get me extremely rich. It will allow me to make $100 here, $400 here, $200 here, but it wasn't something I was gonna be able to allow me to drop out of school and do all these things. So after I did reselling for like almost a year, maybe like 6 to 8 months, it made me realize that I need to focus on building a legitimate business. Now, I know a lot of you guys are in this position right now. Maybe you're 15, maybe you're 35. I don't know what it is, but you're making a little bit of money hustling, right? Maybe you're just selling stuff. Maybe you're just offering a service to people, and that's all fine. But the key lesson that I learned is that, I'll write this here, you need to focus on building an actual business. And the thing is, if you're doing something like this, you're on the right track. Okay, if you're reselling kicks, if you're, selling, I'll honestly use this example too. Like if you're selling weed or if you're doing something like hustling, like you're on the right track, because that means that you have the entrepreneurial mindset to do these things and go the other path instead of working a job because you want to be able to make your own money. But the thing is, if you're doing something like this, what I call this is like a cash flow, like a cash flow machine, if you even will call it that. Something where you're bringing in money, but it's not sustainable. If you're doing something like this, great. Keep doing it, but take all the money that you get from it and invest it into something that is a legitimate business and something that's going to be long-term for you. So that way, once you're able to make steady income with that, you can focus on optimizing your time, because a lot of these hustles, they don't optimize your time. You're basically making enough money like if you would be having a job. You're putting your time right up front for money. So you want to invest that money back into a legitimate business. I'm going to try to keep the rambling down to a minimum on this video, but we're going to be talking about a lot of things, so I want to cover it in depth, So after I was 15, I made like a couple $1,000s reselling shoes. I didn't make a lot of money. I made like $2,000 profit, but it's all relative, guys. Like when I'm dead broke and I'm 15 years old, $2,000 was like a lot of money. I thought I was rich. So when I was 16, I invested all my money into what I like to call Southwest Florida Kicks Exchange. So basically, I had built up like a whole reputation in my city as just sneaker reseller, a guy who had shoes. I had like created a Facebook page, kind of like I have now. Facebook group. We had like 6,000 people on there. It was popping. So what I decided to do was create an actual event, like a convention, like Comic-Con or Comic-Con's a good example, where people can come and they can like buy, sell, show off, and just meet up with other people who are doing shoes. And this wasn't like a new idea, but the thing is, nobody else was doing it in my area. The only other ones were like 2 hours away, 3 hours away. So I wanted to do one locally because I knew that there was a big community of sneakerheads in my area. area. So I figured this is going to crush. This is the thing that's going to make me rich. I was doing all the numbers. I had set up like, oh, this many people are going to show up, and then I'm going to make this much money, and then we're going to do another event a couple weeks later. And listen, I was even thinking about dropping out of high school before we had this first event going because I ran all the numbers. But this one taught me, firstly, that you need to set realistic expectations. Okay. And the second lesson is be careful who you work with. Now, let me tell you what happened with this business. So I started this business and we did all the promo for like 2 to 3 months. And my initial idea was that over 1,000 people were going to show up. So we booked the most expensive convention center that you could possibly get in the city. And it was funny because I was only 16, so I had to like go with my parents, and the guys were making jokes about it. It was funny. But I expected like 1,000 people to show up. So we got this huge room. We sold a bunch of tables, and we expected that it was going to be packed out. When in the end, only 300 people showed up. Now, the thing is, 300 people is a lot of people, and my parents, all my friends were like, dude, holy shit, you got all these people here? But in my brain, I'm like, no, I need 1,000. So, it was like I didn't even get a chance to enjoy the event that I spent all this time hosting because I was so stressed and bummed out about these stupid expectations that I had set. And there's a balance because part of me, it's healthy to say that like you want to strive for more, but my expectations were way out of whack for this event, and it just didn't go as planned, as you can see. But we were able to break even, and it wasn't all too bad. It further boosted my confidence and my notoriety, as an entrepreneur. And the thing about be careful who you work with, I talked about this in my video about the business partners thing, but after we had the first event, I was ready to go. I wanted to do like 3-4 events, every 2 months. I was just ready to knock them out. But he had different plans, and we weren't on the same page. And unfortunately, we had to pretty much shut down the whole business because I didn't have enough capital to fund it all myself. I needed a 50-50 partner, and nobody believed in me enough to invest in the business, so I had to shut it down. So then I pretty much was stuck, right? I pretty much got back to the drawing board because I didn't have that much money to do anything with. So pretty much from 17 to 18, I was just in high school, just living my life, doing whatever, like dating, going through that stuff, and it wasn't fun. Like I got to hang out with friends a lot. I was playing sports and doing all these things, but it wasn't fun because I knew that entrepreneurship was the thing that I always wanted to do. But I finished out high school, 17, 18, and at this point I had hardly any money. I just knew I was going to college, and I knew that I didn't want to go to college, so I had to start a business. So I reached out to my mentor, which pretty much changed my life. He offered me to have one of his websites that he was too busy to focus on. And when I was 18, I got given over basically ownership to a company called Top Notch 3D. And like I said, it's pretty much changed my life because I didn't know what to do. I had no real sense of where to put my money, and him giving me this website gave me something to focus on and put my energy towards. Basically, this business is very similar to dropshipping. What I would do is I set up a really nice looking store. It's not online as at the moment, but I set up a really nice looking, it's not a store, like a website talking about 3D architectural renderings, which is basically, I'll show you guys, 3D architecture. You've probably seen something like this. It's basically like a model of a home before it gets built. This is exactly what we did. So what I did was I made Google ads and I, ran it up. I basically just said, if you're looking for this, this is where you need to search. And once people searched up those terms, they were able to find my store. And from there, I was able to generate leads. And I was actually getting clients. I was getting like 1 client a month. And I didn't know anything about 3D architectural rendering, so I had to hire on Upwork people to do the work. So basically, they did the work, I got paid, and then I took profit after I paid them for the work. Pretty successful idea, and I was grateful to be given that. But I didn't make any money because I was spending too much on ads. I was spending way too much to get the orders fulfilled, and I wasn't charging enough. So this business taught me 2 things, and I ran this business for about 1 year. I'm going to put lessons for this one. All right, so the first thing that this business taught me was that paid advertising can change your life. Okay, I wasn't making money on this business, but I realized that I could take anything, any business, and I could get people to come to it so long as I had money to invest. and a strategy to follow. It also taught me that you need to charge premium for your services. Not in every situation. Sometimes you want to sell stuff for lower ticket, but what I found so far, I've had the best success with high ticket products on my dropship store. For my consulting, I offer high ticket programs. For my course, I put it at a high ticket price. And you know, this works. And I'm being transparent with you guys here. If you believe that you have something valuable and worth it to your customer or to your target market, don't be afraid to charge more money for it, because if you charge less, you may even be missing out on how much you could be making. Because when I was doing this business, let's say for a home rendering, I was charging like $4K. When my competitors were charging $12K and they were getting even more clients than me, my thought process was, okay, I'm just going to charge a cheap price and everybody's going to flock to me. That's not how it works. Think about it. Everybody wants to shop at Gucci. Not everybody wants to start at the dollar store, you know what I mean? So you want to try to position yourself as the premium figure in whatever niche or space that you're in. Even I do that now with my brands and my new stores that I'm building. I don't try to be the cheapest, the lowest cost one. I try to be the most premium one, because there's still a market for that. All right, so anyways, there's only one more business that I have to put on this list here, and it would be when I was 19. I failed really badly on my first Shopify store, and I'll put the name of the Shopify store. You can't like find it, I don't think. You can find the Facebook page. But anyways, yeah, I failed really badly on this store. Basically, I started it in the summer of my first year of college because I wanted to move out of my parents' house. I didn't want to take out another student loan to get a dorm. I wanted to be able to afford an apartment, and I didn't want to have a job. So I took the knowledge that I had from doing Google Ads and from just networking with people and realized that you can do drop shipping. Like, I saw that there was a market. I saw that the fidget spinners were really popular because my little brother had one, and I figured out, okay, I want to be able to sell these online. So I started doing research, and I found AliExpress, I found Shopify, and then I just kind of connected all the dots, and I started building my business. But yeah, this one completely failed. I started the fidget spinner thing in like June, when everybody was already done with it, you know what I mean? So I missed the mark, but it's okay because it taught me that this stuff is possible with Shopify. I made like 10 sales or something, and it allowed me to find the business model that, you know, got me to the point that I'm at now. I still think that I'm far from successful, and I fail every single day, whether it be with my focus or with something that I'm working on in my business. But you know, these things are teaching me to become a better person, and I will be able to look back in 3 to 5 years and be grateful that I was taking the risks and the sacrifices that I'm taking now, because the knowledge and the lessons that I learned from those things are, you know, invaluable. But anyways, guys, that's enough about my story. This was kind of a long one, so, you know, if you did stick around to the end, let me know in the comments down below, because I really appreciate you guys who watch all my videos. Like, it means a lot to me, and it opens a lot of opportunity for me as well, having you guys around. So like I said, it's a big part of my life to have this YouTube following. But I just want to say thank you guys so much. And I've got 2 good videos coming this week. I wrote them on my board. We're going to be doing the low budget scaling video because everybody's been asking me about that. And then on top of that, I'm going to be doing a full guide to hiring your VAs and where to find them at. So it's going to be a good week. I'm going to stay focused, and I'm going to get what I need to get done. But anyways, guys, that's all I have for now. I hope you enjoyed this one. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.